the first phase of the project is supposed to be completed.
While taking pride in the trust bestowed on them by government, Gay posited that the construction, which is in phases, when completed will significantly boost job creation, thereby reducing poverty in the country. Dr. Mariama Sarr, Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, and Dr. Samuel Cheng, the Taiwanese ambassador to the Gambia, harped on the mutually beneficial relations between Banjul and Taipei, anchored on mutual trust and interest. They recounted the abundant expectations from the project from the country's over 60% youthful population, with Taiwan pledging to stand all the way to ensure that the Gambia's dream of becoming a scientifically modernized country is attainable.
If you have that potential explosion, as far as the youth are concerned, you might have to give them skills. Because if they are idle minds, the possibility of them going the other way is very high. So we have to direct them into positive energies, which is what the project is trying to do.
Taiwan is willing to provide the seed instructors and share the successful experience on technical and vocational training. Taiwan is playing the role of the provider of science and technology.
While the Higher Education Minister called for more collaboration in ensuring the successful completion of the milestone project, Ambassador Cheng adjoined that his country will provide the seed instructors to train individuals upon the completion of the project. After laying the foundation stone, the Women Gardeners Association of Ndemman Village seized the opportunity to present horticultural produce to the President as a way of saying thank you for his development initiatives. Abu Bakr Dabo, GRTS.
The Ministry of Health and Social Welfare has part of its ongoing exercise aimed at ensuring greater service delivery at the country's numerous health facilities set up a new medicines board. Well, the inauguration of that 10-member board was recently presided over by the Minister Fatim Baji. Fatou Jase reports.
The issue of uncontrollable distribution of medicinal drugs in the country is another key issue of concern for authorities at the Ministry of Health. In addressing and controlling these prevailing circumstances, the Minister of Health and Social Welfare on Friday inaugurated a 10-man medicine board. The board will be charged with the responsibility of ensuring the rational use of medicinal drugs in the country's medical facilities. It is a huge component of the health sector. Therefore, in enforcing the Medicine Act to help monitor the flow of drugs in the country, the role of these men and women will slowly become more important.
The main areas is also the distribution and uncontrollable sale of drugs. As we all know, this is a story that has been going on even before I was born, but having small pharmacies and local shops is uncontrolled. These are issues that need to be addressed by strong policies and reinforced acts, and also strong supervision and disciplinary methods set by the Medicines Board. We also have quality control. We have a National Public Health Laboratory Service. We can empower that area in order to make sure that we can monitor better the quality of these drugs that are being imported in, and also the licensing area. Many people have licenses that probably have not been renewed, and we must want to also revisit the criteria that we are giving this license to. Some of these health facilities are applying for license to do one thing, and then they end up doing 3 things.
The board members are expected to start work in earnest and help restore standards to this particular section of the health sector.
A lot of challenges have been enumerated. I think my colleagues here will have heard it. Let me assure you that we will do all it takes to see that we meet to our challenges. As we all know, drugs and medicines are essential components of any healthcare delivery.
There are men and women serving in diverse sectors of the health sector, with 2 others from various walks of life. They pledge to work collectively to bring back greater accountability with the way drug is being managed in the country. Selected after a thorough scrutiny, this board will start operation soonest, and the group is expected to work closely with Minister Baji in addressing crucial health problems that remain a stumbling block to the attainment of the ministry's vision. For GRTS News, I am Fatou Jassi.
Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Defense has taken delivery of 23 boxes of first aid kits earmarked for the Gambia Navy from a UK-based NGO. Asatu Bajansar was at the State House ceremony and she now tells us more.
Officials, the donation of these boxes of first aid kits came as a result of Jane Borden's visit to the Gambia sometime last year. After what was a fruitful meeting with the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Defense, and the members of the Gambia Armed Forces, returned to extend a similar gesture to the Gambia Armed Forces.
For this nice gesture of yours, which is a second gesture because you've already handed over about 51 cartons through Dr. FM Ibirim, and we are most grateful that you have decided to give us these waterproof first aid kits. I'm sure they will be of very good use to our Gambian forces. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much.
The first aid kits would come with a waterproof storing case, according to officials, was ideal for the Navy unit of the Armed Forces, which works in an aquatic environment.
I can assure you that when the next shipment comes, next container, we will bring more of these packages because we want to help the people of the Gambia, you know.
For the commanding officer, Naval Command, the donation of these first aid kits to the naval unit will in no small measure help in saving the lives of his men and many others in case of accidents at sea.
Hopefully they will be used in the right way. Once we know that actually we have the MRS, these medicaments will be put into the intended purpose, and I thank him a lot for making this, giving us these medicaments. Thank you very much.
The Gambian Navy is mandated to protecting the country's territorial waters from all forms of illegal activities, and thus any form of assistance to this critical unit of the Gambia Armed Forces, according to officials, is highly appreciated. Asatu Bajansar, GRTS.
Members of the several 100,000-strong Senegalese community in the Gambia have been exercising their franchise. Ibrahim Balde visited the polling centers and highlights voting was generally orderly and calm. We should bring you that story in the news at 10. A GRTS news crew is in Dakar to cover the election many observers say is one of the most keenly contested polls in the history of Senegal. Voting began early and Senegal's 5 million odd eligible voters have more than a dozen candidates to vote for. Malik Jones reports.
Senegalese presidential elections began honestly this morning as polling booths opened at 8 a.m. With as close to 5.5 million eligible voters exercising their franchise, this election is a massive test to the incumbent President Met Abdoulaye Wade as to whether he can clinch victory in the first round after what all 13 political candidates call his blatant flouting of the supreme document, the Constitution of the Republic of Senegal, by refusing to step down after his 2-year mandate. In the capital Dakar, 2 aspirants cast their votes this afternoon. Med Abdoulaye Wade, the incumbent, and female candidate Amsatou Sow Sidibé. AU ECOWAS envoy Olusegun Obasanjo called at the Lycée de l'Enseignement in Pointe-E, where the incumbent was to cast his ballot to see the process. Speaking to journalists, he spoke of his satisfaction of how the polls were being conducted and wished that peace prevail in the ensuing days. Barely 30 minutes after his departure, security was reinforced, and that heralded that the incumbent President Wade was due, and certainly, as was expected, a crowd of local and international journalists descended upon him. After some scuffles with security, he was ushered to the polling station where he cast his vote. Accompanied by his wife Vivian Wade and son Karim, he was hardly audible when he spoke to the media, his voice subdued by pro and anti-Wade chants. He, however, looked confident, but a smile was far away from his face. As our crew headed for the residence of female candidate Amsatou Sow Sidibé, the car looked calm and serene. There were gendarme patrols all over the city, and their presence was also at polling stations. Amsatou Sow Sidibé of the movement Carl Lenin is a tutor at the University of Dakar. She took 100 meters walk from our residence to the polling station.